So, Sydney, what's it been like dating in Memphis? I bet you come across a lot of swagged out gangsters, a lot of sexy thugs, right? I bet you come across a lot of bad boys with tattoos. Ooh, yummy. I bet you come across a lot of criminals. That's what they are. A gangster ain't nothing but a criminal. And not a smooth criminal. Because they ain't smooth. You're not smooth if you end up in jail. And that's where I felt my ex-boyfriend was going to end up. In jail. So what did I do? I blocked his ass. Yeah. What's it been like dating in Memphis? What's up, y'all? It's Sydney Island here. That's Island with a Y, not an S. And today we're talking about, obviously, dating. Okay? Dating, relationships. So I made a story time about the first boyfriend that I had here in Memphis. I've had two boyfriends here in Memphis. I've been here in Memphis for a year and a half. Okay, I've been here in Memphis for exactly a year and 4 months. Okay, so let's talk about how that's been. Let's get into it. Okay, so I talked about my very first boyfriend, who actually brought me to Memphis out of a crisis situation. Okay, I couldn't take living with my family no more. It was getting a little dysfunctional, a little toxic. So I called him with tears in my eyes, and I was like, "Save me!" Yeah, and so he rescued me. And I'm not gonna go into depth about that relationship because you wanna know why? I made 2 story times, okay? A part 1 and a part 2 about the time that his little black brought demons into the home that we were living in together because he was an idiot. I'm over here clutching the Bible and he talking about demons need love. I'm trying to find the word. You're schizophrenic. You're schizo. And my dumb ass really took it seriously. Like, I thought he had spiritual gifts. I thought he had, y'all, I thought he's one of those woke spiritual people, but it turns out his ass was just schizophrenic. Okay, so I want to mention him, though I'm not going to go into details because I already went into so much detail with those story times. Go check those out. But I will have to say this. I dated 2 guys in Memphis and I went on a date with about 3 people since I've been here, and I've talked on dating apps with even more, right? So yeah, your girl, she been mingling, you know. And one thing that I've noticed about specifically the black men here in Memphis, because I did go on a date with one guy that was not black, he was South Asian, but he looked like Indian in appearance. He said he was from Bangladesh and he had a little accent, and it sounded like what us Americans would consider an Indian accent. I didn't say he was dark, he was brown skinned, you know. But he said he's Asian because come on, geography. That India is in Asia. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he explained it. But anyway, we're gonna talk about the black folks. We're gonna talk about the black men in Memphis, because that's why y'all here at the end of the day. When you hear Memphis, Tennessee, what you think about? Negroes, right? So there's a pattern here with the black men in Memphis, especially the black men in more lower income areas. Okay, you can hear it coming. They all have a poverty mindset. Hence is why a lot of them be like in their mid-30s still living in the hood selling dope, because they have a poverty mindset. Okay, my first boyfriend, we can call him Psycho Scorpio. That's the first boyfriend. He was a year younger than me, but really he was just a few months younger than me, actually. So Psycho Scorpio, he definitely had a poverty mindset. He would always talk about money all the time, just like the boyfriend after him, who I should not have been in a relationship with. We gonna call him Stanky Sag, because he was Sagittarius. And y'all know how I am about astrology. Y'all know I'm into astrology. So, damn, I need to stop running my words together. Okay. So Psycho Scorpio and Stanky Sag. Psycho Scorpio was about 26. Stanky Sag was 35. Both of these two dudes would always talk about money, right? I was like, okay, maybe it's a thing with black men in Memphis. Like, they're obsessed with money. That's all they talk about is money. I want to go make money. How can I make money? Money, 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 money. They always have to find a way to bring money up in the conversation. Yet, both of these be broke. And I'm like, I'm very much into the law of attraction. And I feel like if you keep obsessing over something, you create resistance to it. And I kept trying to tell my ex, Psycho Scorpio, I kept trying to tell him, like, because he would say stuff like,
I don't know why manifestation works for you, but it doesn't work for me.
Which is like the stupidest thing to say if you're trying to manifest. Okay, how can you manifest by saying this is not going to work? That's not how you manifest. That's not how you get anything. I mean, and aside from the spiritual stuff, let's say if you apply for a job, why apply for a job and then the whole time you're putting in the application, you say, I'm not going to get this job. I'm not going to get this job. Well, then why the heck are you applying for it? Right? So I was always teaching him how to think in regards to manifesting what he desired, whereas he would take a victim-like mentality. And the boyfriend that I dated after him, the 35-year-old, he lived in the same area, which was Whitehaven. If you know, you know. If you live in Memphis, you know that the Whitehaven area is not the best area. It's really a janky area, and I would not recommend anybody living there. I was only living in Whitehaven because that's where my ex lived, and he brought me from where he rescued me. I was in a whole nother city in Tennessee, and he rescued me, and I just had to live where he was. I needed him. So I didn't know anything about the neighborhoods. I didn't know what was a good neighborhood, what was a bad neighborhood. I just ended up there, and I had to kind of figure it out as I lived, right? And so over time, it didn't take me very long to realize that Whitehaven is a very, like, it's more of a poor area, you know. It's and the behavior of the children, it really just shocked me compared to where I came from, because I came from a small suburban city and everybody's so polite, and I come to Memphis and it's like the vibes, y'all, like, people here are not as friendly. They're not as open. They don't smile as much. Like, there's a guard up, and the black people don't trust each other, and it's just so different to the point where I'm ready to move. Okay. And so I put down money worship. I have notes, by the way. I always write notes for my videos so that I can stay on track. And I put down money worship. Sisters, date the brothers that are like Malcolm X, okay? Date the Malcolm X brothers, okay? Date the driven, confident brothers, not the ones crying about how they sad because their mama won't take them somewhere because they dumbass don't have a license. Okay, and that was my other boyfriend, Stanky Sag, but we're gonna get to that in a second. So, Psycho Scorpio, the first boyfriend, the one that brought me to Memphis, he was in trouble with, every time, like I'm about to say it, but I feel stupid, but at the same time, Sydney, it's not your fault. A lot of times with dudes, females, y'all know, dudes will tell you what they want to tell you. They will leave out information that they feel like will cause you to look at them like they're less of a man, right? So, and he's a Scorpio. Scorpios are known to be very private and very secretive, okay? So, he had this whole big ass secret, y'all, that I didn't even know he had. And Stanky Sag had a very similar secret. And I was thinking, is it just the dudes here in Memphis? But he was driving around in his car and everything, and, you know, taking me to these different places when I first came here. It was a struggle, but, you know, he was making it happen. And I thought everything was good, you know, as far as transportation went. And the next thing you know, his car gets repossessed. And then next thing you know, I think it was like a couple weeks later, the police is at his door. And so he had these different things going on, right? And so it was two things that was going on. One thing was the whole time he had been driving on a suspended license and didn't tell me nothing. I was in the passenger side driving in a, yeah. And I'm a nerd. I don't get in trouble with the law. I am literally Steve Urkel, okay? I don't do crime, okay? Crime is not my thing. I like to read books. And then Popo at his door because turns out he got scammed online and he was trying to get the law involved. And it's just like he had all this stuff going on. And I'm like, baby, okay. I see what's going on here, okay. And I'm like, why would you bring a whole female into this situation? Okay, that's Psycho Scorpio. Now, on to Stanky Sag, the 35-year-old, the second boyfriend. All right, the one I regret being with. Okay, so with Stanky Sag, he was a manifestation of my desire to get out of that spiritual darkness that I was in with Psycho Scorpio. I met Stanky Sag while I was living with my first boyfriend, the Scorpio. And we were just friends for a few months. But when he came into my life, I think we had broke up after this. I think we had been broken up, but we were still like roommates or whatever. And dude came around. He was always lingering around the neighborhood that, you know, me and my ex stayed in, which was this dinky little neighborhood in Whitehaven. And I was laughing at the word dinky because I used that word with a friend here in Memphis, and she was like, dinky, like what is that? And I'm thinking, is that like a northern thing? Because I'm from Maryland. But anyway, I just be saying dinky like it's the most normal thing, like you're gonna know what I'm talking about. So Stanky Sag walked up, and I remember like he just had this whole aura around him that was just different. It was just different. And I remember him dressed in all black. He had a black hat similar to the one that I'm wearing now. And he had on a black tank top, like a muscle shirt. It's more like a muscle shirt. You could see his arms, that chocolate. And he had on the black pants was fitting real good. And he had on these black shades. And it was just the way that he walked. The way that he walked, it had like confidence and swag. And he walked up to his friends on the corner. They was chit-chatting or whatever. And I just could not keep my eyes off of him. It was just something so different about him. And I remember at this time I was praying for friends that had a strong connection to God because I felt that I was living in darkness, staying with Psycho Scorpio, who was talking about demons need love. And I was just tired because, like I mentioned in the other videos, we was having demonic nightmares and stuff like that. And it just was a very uncomfortable experience because this dude was into like demonic stuff. And mind you, I didn't know that he was into this. Obviously, he didn't speak about this when we first met. He kind of eased his way into talking about that. Because, of course, you can't just be on the first day talking about,
you know, do you worship demons? I do.
Yeah, because then I would have exit stage left. And so the thing that I really liked about Stanky Sag was that, it's so dumb to call him Stanky Sag, but that's what he ended up in. Stanky. I like that I could talk about God with him. And he had, what I could tell was a deep relationship with God, like a real relationship with God. And the way that he would talk about God was moving. It was inspiring. And he was more mature from what I could tell. From what I could tell in this moment, he came across this way as more mature than the Scorpio because dude was 35 and Scorpio was 26. And so Scorpio, from my opinion and experience, was just so immature. And I'm a Taurus. We can be some freaking senior citizen minded ass people. I had enough of him. Like, he was getting on my nerves, acting like he was getting attacked by demons, and it really was just a performance. And I was just like, this man is He is not of the light. And if he is of the light, he is very confused and traumatized, and that darkness is covering his light real freaking good. The dude treated me horribly. Horrible. You know, I would give him a back massage, and then he would just be like, okay, you can get out now. I would cook for him and his kids, and then he threatened to send me off to a homeless shelter because I had chest pains, and it was an inconvenience to him because he had just took a pill that was going to make him sleep, and he was having a little bitch fit that his girlfriend was in severe pain, rocking back and forth, crying because her chest was freaking hurting, you dumbass Negro. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. So you can imagine being in that relationship with